Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brianna and I am a third grade teacher in North Carolina. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my entire classroom. I kind of go into a little bit of detail of each area of my room, how it's laid out, my ideas for next year, basically how it's worked out for me since it's almost the end of the year. And please forgive me, don't mind the true life of a teacher messy classroom that you are about to see, but I wanted to share it with you. I haven't done one of these since my first year of teaching, so if you never saw my first classroom, I will link that up here. I made a ton of videos my second year of putting my classroom together and all of that, setting up my classroom, so I will link that playlist here as well. If you are not subscribed, before you go any further, please hit that red subscribe button down below so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I am going to start posting 3 times a week. That is right, it is real. 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So make sure you hit the notification bell so you can be on the lookout for my videos. And without further ado, let's just get into it because it's a long one. I hope you're in for the ride. The outside of my room has my welcome board, and everything that's being covered down here is my students' names. I put them on Scrabble trays and set that up and took a picture of each of them. And then here is just some of their work from class. A little letter about me and the door. And people ask me why I never show my door. I mean, I don't decorate it. It has our schedule and my mailbox, and that's it. Starting right when the kids walk in, they make their lunch choice in the morning. So that is all set up for when they return to school tomorrow. And since my room is board game theme, I did Hungry Hungry Kiddos instead of Hungry Hungry Hippos. This is peeling and falling apart because when I laminated this, I did a very cheap lamination off of Amazon that I've talked about. I do not recommend. Floor inspiration comes from Candyland. I just thought it was welcoming into the classroom, and it's really great for when I tell my kids to line up. You will see the door and the yellow square. They line up on the yellow one so that it's easy to open and close the door. Down below here, I have the multiplication facts, and as they pass a fact, they get their name on the wall. And right above that is our math board. So again, with the board game theme, Mathopoly instead of Monopoly. Real teacher life right here. You can see the Icann Statements talking about capacity. I have a poster for area. I have an anchor chart for length, and I have vocabulary for multiplication. So let me talk about each of these things. My Icann Statements this year, I decided to just print out a piece of paper that said Icann, and then I'm writing it on the clear pouch here, dry erase pouch, dry erase sleeve, whatever this is called. And I update this daily. I've decided I like the printed version better. It's just neater when you print out the whole standard, and so I'll be going back to that next year. This little pocket chart I just put on here to hold different posters, because from different units I've purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers, they come with little posters, and I thought it was a good piece to have on this board. I'm hanging my anchor charts with binder clips and little Velcro command hooks. They're by the brand Velcro, not command hooks, but this is actually a whiteboard behind this. So that is what is holding that up. Again, I'm looking for a prettier way to do it next year. And then this pocket chart is from the Target Dollar Spot. I will link this vocabulary bundle down below. I got it from TPT. My goal was to switch it out all throughout the year. I did something like this last year, but you know, time. So that didn't really happen. Moving along on this backboard here, as you can see, the whiteboard is the rest of it because the whole thing is really a whiteboard, but I wanted to utilize it in a different way, which has worked very well. I do have my homework on the board. Another thing I'm not going to do next year, I just think it takes up space, and I have a different idea for putting it on the smart board next year. And then here is my calendar. Again, this one's from the Target Dollar Spot. So I don't like that Sunday's over here. It confuses me, and it took a second for the kids to get used to too. And I think that's just confusing for an elementary classroom, but it's the kids' jobs to put these up. And my calendar, I like to put up the day that we're at, so it's easy to find the day we're on, not all of the numbers at once. Clearly the kids just wanted to know it was the 19th when we had no school. So that's this section. I saved this over here for announcements. We had posters for Kindness Week, so I just kept those up. Down here sits our lunch choice for the month, and then our newsletter usually slides into there. But I haven't really utilized this space. So like I said, it's a good whiteboard that I could be using to teach. And next year I plan to have my library over here instead, so that I can utilize this board while teaching much more. And then across the top, I just have mathematical practices. I haven't really referenced these with my kids, and they are in our curriculum. So that's definitely something I want to focus on more next year as well. As you can tell, the glare from the lights is not the greatest, but when you're sitting down, see, it gets much better. These are in my TPT store, so I will link them down below. So real talk right now, student supply area. The students have really made it their own. I have my place value blocks over here because this bookshelf used to be over there. So they were hidden, but I just haven't put them in the closet, and they're fine there, but obviously not aesthetically pleasing. Also, I have construction paper that was recently delivered to my classroom on top here, and a dictionary which goes in a cubby. So, you know, my kids are collecting dried out markers for the Crayola fundraiser or just recycle program. Our pencil sharpener is here. This bin used to be on top of that one, but I see the kids have moved it. These are our crayons, which those are the little snack containers from the Dollar Tree. These containers, I believe, are from Big Lots. And then these are lost and found, things that are left on the ground. We just put them in there. This paper thing, which I really do not like, from the Dollar Tree. It falls down all the time, but this is where I just keep lined paper, printer paper, and graph paper. These black containers are also from Big Lots. And in here, I just have glue sticks, erasers, expo markers, nothing in that bottom one, highlighters, and sticky notes. And then I have more glue sticks over here and some Guinness World Records. I don't know. And then down below, my kids are also collecting glue stick caps for the art teacher. How precious. Our calculators are there. Other little containers from the Dollar Tree with glue bottles and random junk in the bottom one. And then just a ton of rulers in that one. I believe these are from Big Lots as well. But containers, you can find them anywhere nowadays. So that is my crazy student supply section. I don't love it. Let me know what you guys do, because I like having the materials accessible for the students, but once they know they're there, they're not as responsible for their things because they're like, oh, I can just go get another one. So let me know. This cart was originally for robotics, but we use it to collect our Chromebooks because we share across the grade level. A cart has 30 Chromebooks, but our classes are not that big. So we get the Chromebooks for the week and we bring them in on this cart, which is fantastic. And then the kids just keep them in their bottom drawer at their tables, and that has worked really well. I really like not having the cart in my room because it just takes up a lot of space in this small area. So that box is for robotics, but this cart just sits here. Again, I want to try to come up with a better way to organize everything next year. This is gonna look a little confusing. This is our board where we can where I can display student work. Twist and Shout, our work stands out. It's made supposed to be like a twister board. I was really proud of this at the beginning of the year. But we needed a spot when we were learning about equivalent fractions to make a number line. So that is just where our number line ended up going. That is not like that all year. Usually I have student work up there, but for the time being, that is what that has turned into. Moving along, we have the student cubby section, which is pretty crowded, but the only time they're over here is really when they're packing up or getting their book box, and they don't all do it at once. So it goes okay. I made these numbers, which I should probably sell on TPT because they're super simple. So let me know if you want them. Actually, maybe I'll just put them up for free. But these cubbies have 4 hooks in them for 4 students. 1 and 2 go on this side, 3 and 4 go on this side. And then in the top of their cubbies, they have their textbooks and their NC Ready books and their Act Now books and a dictionary. Those are the workbooks that we use as a supplemental resource. On top is their book boxes with the same numbers, and I wish when I ordered these, well, my school ordered these for me last year, and I had the circus theme last year, and so I got all red. Oh, I just wish they were more colorful or something, but I mean, they're really in good condition, so I'm gonna have to use them for a lot more years before I do away with them because they're super sturdy, they're from really good stuff. But the kids keep their library books in there, they keep their books from our classroom library in there, any books they bring from home. That way they're not getting lost in their desk. You'll also notice some of them have these Ziploc bags. That's where their headphones are. Again, not something I love. I know people use the shoe organizer for headphones, but I mean, it's worked and it's been fine, and the bags help them when they bring them to enrichment. Behind there is just a bunch of storage. Also not pretty, but there's not a lot of space to store things. Oh, another secret too. Those cubbies are not being used, so I have storage back there. It just requires me to move the cubbies. So we have more cubbies here. Then I have my job board, which has fallen apart. Also another thing that I don't know if I'm going to take up space in the classroom next year. I love it because it brings my theme into my classroom, but as you can see, the kids have peeled off all the numbers. That did not happen last year when I did this, but I did have a student sit over here for a while, so clearly we know what they were doing while I was teaching. But I based these on the cards from the Game of Life. These, I want to say, are on my Teachers Pay Teachers, but with different clip art because I don't own this clip art. Well, I technically do because I paid for it. I messaged the seller, they never responded, so I'll let you know down below what clip art this is. We don't use it either. Like, we never reference the job board unless I change jobs, and I change jobs once a quarter, so it's not something that we go to often because once a kid has a job, they know it's their job. So yeah, it looks cute though. And you'll notice the sticky clips around the room. Those are for my task cards. They're always up, so my task cards are always in the same place. We have the rest of the cubbies over here. And then we have my cabinet where I can store things. This one is not the organized one. So that'll be a project one of these days. But that's somewhere I store things. On top, I have whiteboard cleaner, and these are my bins that have my fraction towers in them, and then an elephant, and I also have anchor chart paper up there too. This is a reward system my school uses. Usually they get paws from enrichment if they have a good enrichment, and then when we fill it up we get a class reward. This I haven't really referenced either, but I was excited to use it because it went with my theme. I was inspired by Maylene from Miss Calls Campers. Fair isn't everyone getting the same thing, fair is everyone getting what they need to be successful. But it hasn't really been a problem this year. So this is my file box, and on top is all the graded work. This is a classroom job. Yeah, I have trustworthy students file graded work. They don't look at the kids' grades. Their goal is to just get it where it belongs. But I have student names in there, so I'm not gonna open it. It's just a file system with names and numbers. And that's what I use as mailboxes because it goes right in the folder, and then I send that work folder home every other Thursday. here is my colorful drawer from Michael's, which I bought with a gift card because it's beautiful and sturdy and it will be of great use in my classroom one day. These labels are from last year. Math, Facts, Games, and Vocabulary when I used it for centers. It's kind of just storage right now. I do have games in here that we have used. Actually, all my math multiplication games are in there. But I keep my little containers of game pieces and things. I'm gonna go more through this when in my centers videos, but the kids don't really go into this. I'm just using it. See, it's just a mess. So it's good storage. Again, haven't utilized it the way I should. All right, so over here, I bought a stool at the beginning of the year, an ottoman to sit at, and then I had this green chair at home and I brought this in. This chair is honestly so comfortable, makes me want to do flexible seating or just have more of them in my room. But back here, I have that whiteboard that I used to use for more number talks, and those are my number talk hand signals, and then 5-finger rule, since this is the library and that's what students should be doing as they're picking books. And I don't know why this is upside down. There's their shopping schedule for the days each student can shop for a book. I have text feature posters. Oh, my rules, which is my top seller on TPT. Be kind, show respect, work hard. I have them in the blue, red, and yellow, and then I also have them in black and white, so you can print them on construction paper. I don't love where they are, but it actually spices up this part of the room because I'd rather have them up there, but you know, that's chaotic too. I know my room is stimulation overload. Some planet stuff, and that's where the math facts ended up, and that is just my students and me not cleaning that area, so we're not going to discuss that. But here's my easel where I work on anchor charts with my students. We are currently reading The Wild Robot Escapes because we finished the first one and the kids were begging me for the next. So thank you to whoever sent that to me from my Amazon wish list. My kids are obsessed. Back here I just have pocket charts that I bought and base 10 mats, but pocket charts that I bought before I became a teacher, and I don't really utilize them. But over here I have some tray table, lap desk kind of deal for when kids spread out around the room, and my library. The yellow bins are from Really Good Stuff. The smaller yellow are from some kind of dollar store. Those are from Dollar Tree. The tall blue are from Big Lots. And then the hard pink and yellow are from the Target Dollar Spot, and you can actually order those online. My original classroom was designed around my library, my first year teaching, because I loved the yellow, red, and blue. Then I saw the pink and I really wanted to bring some pink into my classroom, so it just went chaotic from there. I want eventually, I think, to have all one color bin. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. The labels are from Michelle, Pocket Full of Primary. They're her library labels, the original ones. And as you can see, like, well, this one just fell off. I can put that back on easily, but true life of a teacher, guys. It doesn't look picture perfect. My kids have their Legos. They make like amazing. These are from the Target Dollar Spot Legos. Like they're all rectangles and squares, and they make this rocket ship. Like, that is incredible. So they like to build things. I say you can leave them on top of the library and then come back to them when we have indoor recess or Fun Friday. I have the Kohl's Cares books and characters just to spice it up. A light box, which was a big deal once upon a time. Don't really use that. And more Legos. Keep the quote. If you remember from my classroom setup videos this year, I have not used Keep the Quote at all. My kids actually never even asked me about that, but that's okay because there's always next year. Book bingo down here. Also something I wanted to start at the beginning of the year. You'll see a few kids have stickers, but that I haven't really implemented much either. It's just like those little extra things that are hard to keep up with. You guys know. This is our Gallon Man robot because we were just talking about capacity and all our other little length posters. These are the books that we have read this school year. I usually utilize this board to teach along with my smart board. And then I just have my Monopoly alphabet, which I made as well, but I cannot sell that because of the clip art. If you want me to send it to you though, let me know. Voice level, I loved this, used it so much at the beginning of the year. The batteries are dead though, so I have to change the batteries, but definitely something I will be keeping for next year. Here is a writing process pencil. Next year, again, I want to implement the little clothespins for the kids to move their names up and down so I could see where they are at in the writing process. This one I made myself, and people were angry at me at the beginning of the year because there's a similar one on TPT, but if I can create it, I'm not going to buy it. But I will link the one that you can buy down below, or you could just create it yourself and I won't be mad. And then here's our reading board. So instead of Candyland, it's Reading Land and writing. Again, with the Icann Statements for reading and writing and the vocabulary. I've updated that a little bit more, but not really. And then just anchor charts that are important. Traffic light transitions over there to help with writing. Again, not a helpful spot for kids to see, so I need to move that next year. And then I started adding the posters. They might be Amy Grosbeck posters. I'll link them down below. It's just very busy up front, and I would rather it be functional and helpful than busy. So we have a small group table over here, 2 tables put together, and my desk right here. So you'll notice the projector has to sit on my desk because it can't hang from the ceiling. This is our turn-in bin, just some pencils and things for me to use. My computer, speakers, document camera, things we're working on. This is robotic stuff, and this is where I store like my supplies that match the students' supplies. But that's our equipment for recess and chalk. This was something I was using with Book Bingo, but again, haven't really used it much. Someone also sent me this, so thank you, and the folders inside. I originally was using it for extra papers when kids are absent, but it's easy to keep track of that when you have one class. I'm beginning to learn. Over here, I have my centers. Again, I have not changed this. I will talk more about this in my centers videos, but over to the side, I have my kids' names for their groups. The kids don't use this. I would use this more than the kids, so I need this near me next year. This banner's from Target. I thought I should put it up. Parts of speech poster. All my robotic stuff. Charging my iPad. Extra stuff, books that don't fit in my library. The Babysitter's Club I'm keeping because those books I will cherish, but I just have so many of them. Social studies stuff and more reading posters, and then this cabinet was my more organized one, but it's a little crazy. This is just manipulatives and all my task cards and all my centers and soil, just a lot of stuff. This was filled at the beginning of the year. When you let your students know where the pencils are, they will help themselves. This is for indoor recess. Up top is more storage, party stuff that's clearly falling down, and a scale. But moving on the back of this wall, I have all my schedules and stuff that I need. I have my cart, which I also have not utilized this year. So let me know how you utilize your cart and what I could do with it next year, because it just has sat there and been a collector of materials. My cart that I bring to and from school, sometimes it sat there a lot, which makes me happy. M-class stuff for reading levels, more robotic stuff and benchmarks, things that I can go over with my kids. That bottom shelf is all M-class materials. This middle shelf is stickers and word work stuff. So this is my small group table. I do have the black stools that are stacked right now from IKEA. They have not broken all year. I highly recommend the black ones, not the white ones, because apparently the white ones break more easily. So I have all my Scholastic that I have to get ready for my kids. This has been a game changer for me. I decided to take one of my carousels and put pencils, expos, erasers, and highlighters, all the small group materials, so my kids don't have to bring anything. So that has been great. The rest of my area here, I have group 1, 2, 3, and 4 for reading. That was for guided reading. Math small group I just keep in one drawer, and then next to that is next week. That's just extra things I can use in math small group. My teacher toolbox. All of these labels are from Teach, Create, Motivate. I will link them down below, except the squares. I made those myself, so it all matched, but I absolutely love it. Up here, this is like my data binders and then just extra read alouds or my personal copies of books. I have my sloth that a student gave me, a rocket from Space Camp, 2 minerals, and then my Bubba is up there, so it's out of the way when I'm not using it. And then over here, these are all my teacher materials, resources. This bottom bin is things I need to work on with students, like when I pull them for intervention or Scholastic magazines. Over there is wipes, Clorox, baby wipe, Ziploc, tissues, all right there. This is like my catch-all for papers that come from the office or just things I need to reach for often. There's all my pens and pencils. Again, craziness back there. My drawers for grade, copy, and file, I've been better about that this year. And then my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday bins are holding all of my copies for next week. This yellow caddy on top was guided reading materials. And then I have my push light, which again, I need to change the batteries. That was for the beginning of the year. Do not bother me when the light is on. My kids were amazing about it. Again, I need to change batteries and implement it next year. Over here are just my filing cabinets. This is my stuff from last year. And this is my stuff from this year. The red is math, the yellow is reading, orange is writing, green is science, and blue is social studies. I keep tissues up here for the kids, hand sanitizer, paper towels, the phone, this, which I'm also getting rid of for next year because I want a normal easel behind my small group table. That is basically it. I know this video was so long, so if you're still here, give it a huge thumbs up and comment down below what your favorite part of my classroom is. The desks are organized in groups right now. I know it's hard to see because their chairs are up, but I have a group in the back, a group angled over there, a group of 5 right here, and then my friends up front. I turned my desk and I really like the change of this year. And then each group does have the drawers. The top one is for whiteboards. The middle one has their manipulative we're currently using. And then the bottom, like I said, is where they put their Chromebooks. The caddy, it's held manipulatives this year. It's given them a table color. That is my classroom this year. All right, so that is my classroom. I know I was kind of a little bit rushed in the video, but like I didn't want it to be too long, but I wanted to be able to explain things. So again, if you really enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up so it reaches more teachers. I love how my classroom came together this year. I'm working with a really small space, so I did what I could and it's my home. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed and I will see you all next time.